Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Scott here from Can Geek Games and Collectibles, welcoming you to our YouTube channel and to our first video of 2019. Today we're going to talk about a card game that is near and dear to my heart, a game that I've been playing for over 25 years. Today we're talking about Magic the Gathering. So I started playing this game originally in 1993 in 3rd edition and revised, and over the course of roughly 7 or 8 years I invested far more time and money into this game than I care to think about. And because the gaming group that I was playing with was playing almost every Friday and Saturday night, we kind of hit our saturation point and people started cashing out, myself included. Somewhere around 2001, 2002, I cashed out all of my cards and swore that I would never play this game again. Never is a very, very long time, and I should have known better. Because a few years later, one of the people that I was originally playing with got in touch with me and invited me to what they contended would be a one-time draft. And against my better judgment, I went. And within the course of 6 hours of drafting and playing, I was once again sucked back into the void of nothingness that is this amazing game. Now, I say that and it sounds very critical, but it really isn't. I really do love playing MTG, and I actually regret cashing out the first time around. But the addictiveness of this game is not lost upon me. As one of the people that I used to play with once said, if there is a crack cocaine within the gaming community, it is Magic the Gathering. Because it is just the type of game where when it grabs onto you, you keep going back for more and you keep needing to feed the addiction that is this game by buying more booster packs, by buying more decks, by drafting more, by just getting anything that you can get your hands on that bears the Magic logo. And that is what made this such a successful franchise for Wizards in the 90s. And it is also what made Wizards of the Coast, in my opinion, such an appealing purchase for Hasbro when they reached in and bought Wizards of the Coast. Now, I've got friends that have some very conflicted opinions about Hasbro. Hasbro is a vendor partner for us, so I will not badmouth them whatsoever. But what I will admit is Hasbro knows their business. Hasbro knows how to squeeze the most out of any intellectual property that they own. They proved that when they purchased Magic the Gathering, because for a time we were staring down the release of a core set every single year, followed by 3 to 4 expansions to that core set, multiple versus decks like this one of my personal favorite, as I'm sure many of you can relate, being the Ajani versus Nicol Bolas decks. And then you had standalone decks, starter decks for people who had never had a chance to play Magic the Gathering before. Now, having said that though, there comes a point when the market becomes oversaturated. And players realize that this game can be a never-ending abyss. And as such, maybe they cash out and they move on to other games. Keyforge being a very popular example of what I'm talking about right now. And that is where I feel that games like Magic the Gathering Arena for the PC fit in nicely within the Magic universe. But more importantly, I kind of think that Arena holds the keys to the future for the Magic franchise. Do not be surprised in the least if sometime within the next 24 to 48 months, and 48 months being a long-term projection, but don't be surprised if you don't hear that Hasbro has decided to do away with physical cards in lieu of promoting MTG digitally for the next generation of players. Now, there's going to be many of you watching this video that may disagree with me on this, but just stop and consider a couple of things here. Firstly, consider the life cycle of Magic the Gathering from a manufacturer point of view. When Hasbro puts out a new core set, they have to physically produce the cards, which means hiring artists, and writers to come up with good narratives for the cards. Then they have to produce the cards, they have to market the upcoming cards, they have to package them, they have to ship them. All of this ultimately is downloaded on the end consumer with the price of the product by the time it hits brick and mortar retailers. And you've got to really stop and wonder, how much money is Hasbro making when they release core sets? What is their margin? Now, if they were to go to purely a digital format using a vehicle like Arena, you have to know that it would all be about the microtransactions. And there are multiple examples of video games out there now. Fortnite immediately comes to mind, where the game's developer has given a game away for free because they know that they're going to make ridiculous amounts of money on the microtransactions. And for anyone that is playing Arena currently, you know that Arena has already been built around that very specific business concept. Just stop and think about what's involved in playing Arena for a moment. You have to log into the game. You have to complete your daily objectives if that's what you're choosing to do. You have to be regularly playing the game to earn currency. You need about 1,000 currency, or 1,000 gold, to go to the store and buy a single booster pack. You're getting 8 cards in that booster, some decent cards. But then you have the ability to use those cards to soup up the 6 original decks that you're given so that you can literally make these decks your own. Which is a great thing, but that is how the physical version of the game has always been played. Buy cards, build decks, play the game. Now, the truth is, why wouldn't they do this in digital? Why would Wizards, or Hasbro more specifically, not do away with physical cards, promote digital purchases instead? They're still going to make ridiculous amounts of money off of us because that's what microtransactions are all about. And at the end of the day, they're going to cater to a much wider audience. One of the reasons that I originally cashed out of playing Magic back in the early 2000s for a while was because it just wasn't fun to play with strangers. There was a lot of anxiety, at least for me, involved in going out to a game shop on Friday night to sit down and play Magic. My concern about staring across the table at someone who's going to potentially kick my ass in the game, and there was some anxiety involved. But I have found over the last month that I have personally been playing Arena that sitting there behind a keyboard, playing with people around the world, has provided me with a lot more enjoyment. The community has become a lot more tolerant, a lot more accepting. And the beauty is that you don't have to rush out of your house on a Friday night to a card shop to play the game. You can do it from the comfort of your own home, from your keyboard, and you can play online. The reality is, I really believe that down the road you're going to see Hasbro go purely digital with Magic the Gathering. And I would love to hear your opinions on whether or not you agree with me on this or not. Do you feel that the future of Magic will be decided digitally, or do you feel that there will always be a physical presence for this game? So let me know what you think in the comments below. If this is your first time joining us here on our YouTube channel, please do subscribe. We have a goal to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and you could help us out by simply hitting that subscribe button. If you enjoyed watching this video, please do hit the like button as well. And feel free to share it with your Magic community, the people that you play with. See what they think. Do they agree or disagree with what I've suggested here? Is the future of Magic the Gathering going to be digital? So check back with us in a couple weeks for our next video. Originally, our first video was supposed to be an in-depth look at two of my favorite deck building games, that being Star Realms and Hero Realms. But I decided this was the right video to do first, more so because both Star Realms and Hero Realms find their foundations in Magic the Gathering. And we'll talk about that more in 2 weeks when we do our next video. Till then, thanks very much for watching, everyone. Have yourselves an amazing evening, and we'll chat again soon. Ciao for now.